There's boots everywhere. There's pieces of hair everywhere. I guess.
Real hair?
If you want to touch on that. Horse hair. Because it's dyeable.
Because I'm sorry. The horror movie fan of me just heard, yeah, there's hair everywhere, and I just, what?
Alright, so speaking of branching out,
yes.
You said that you have recently started taking voice acting lessons?
Yes, I have. It's an interest that I've had for a while because I loved going to see voice actors at conventions, but I always thought it'd be so cool if they either had like a person at their table that was dressed as one of their characters, you know, that they voice, or they were dressed as that character. And then I was like, that's what I really want to do. Like, I want to get into voice acting, and then I want to cosplay my characters.
Okay.
And so when people see me at conventions, I'll do the voices, and they'll be like, oh my god, you sound like so-and-so. And I'll be like, I am. And I can
That's because I am.
Like I can be 100% that character because I voice it, and I'm dressed as it, and like that is my ultimate thing that I really, really want to do someday.
Okay. Cool.
But of course only if, you know, I really have what it takes to get into voice acting and stuff, because I'm not downplaying that at all. I don't think it's something that you can just be like, oh, I want to voice act. I'll just call up Funimation and ask for a character. I don't think that's how it
So you
works.
guys should just give me a character.
Because I want to make a cosplay. Yeah, no, that's not how it works. So it's definitely more involved than that, and it also is just a really, really awesome community. It's. I feel like voice acting is very much a family. That's why a lot of times you see a lot of the same voice actors from show to crossovers and things like that, because they are just such a tight-knit crew, and they're all just really awesome people. Like, I've never met a voice actor that I didn't think was a great person. Like,
Sure.
I really haven't. So I definitely just want to get into that industry and really just kind of you know, see what it's like to work in that atmosphere and everything. I just think it'd be really awesome. And I was working Fanboys Comic-Con with Josh Martin and Chris Rager. And Josh, I've actually known for years. I used to be a backup dancer for his rap group, Ryman and Steelin', that they're a cover band for Beastie Boys.
Okay.
And so I did all of his like holiday hangover music videos and stuff. And I had no idea that he was the voice of Boo from Dragon Ball. Like, I just no idea. So we're at Fanboys, and he comes over, says hi to me, and then he goes over to the voice acting table, and I'm like,
What the hell's he doing over there?
why is he sitting at the Dragon Ball table? I was like, oh, he must be friends with this other voice actor. And I go over there, and I look down, and it's like Josh Martin, voice of Boo, and I'm like, so you voice Boo, do you? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, how did I not know this? He's like, I don't know, have you ever looked at my Facebook page? So that's my fail, I guess. I wasn't very active on social media.
You're right, my
until,
bad.
like,
My bad for not researching you.
Yeah, I wasn't active on social media at all until like this past Christmas. I've gotten really serious about like my pages and stuff, and that's the only reason I'm active on Facebook, because before I was like never on my phone. I was always out doing things and I just never looked at it. I forgot it existed. I was the worst texter in the history of texters. But I've gotten a lot better about it. But yeah, so I found out he was the voice of Boo, told him that I've been really wanting to get a voice acting, and he's like, well, my buddy Chris here does classes. And then I got to talking to Chris, and that's how here recently, just this past May, I did Chris Rager's voice acting class, and I've been doing some other like acting classes and stuff, and then doing a lot of like researching online and trying some improv stuff, and then that way this later this summer I can start doing more auditions and stuff and feel a little bit more prepared to do that. I got my new mic and everything, so I'm really looking forward to you know, doing some auditions and stuff and just kind of seeing where it goes.
Nice. Other than that and your cosplay, you had said that you have a Patreon, right?
I do have a Patreon. It's just patreon.com/Scarlet Muse Cosplay. Everything, all my social media platforms are the same thing. I also have a store Envy, so if you just want to buy prints, you can just go buy prints. But if you want to be a patron, I post my big cosplay releases. I do a cosplay release every month, which is insane because that's 12 cosplays on top of whatever else I do that year.
Jesus. Oh wow.
But yeah. Yeah. So I do a brand new cosplay release every month, and I post it on Patreon there before. I can't post it on like my other social media platforms until the following month because Patreon they pay to see it early. And you only have to be $1 or more patron to be a patron. So I keep it cheap. It's just to, you know, kind of have like my closer fans get to see more in depth what I'm working on and stuff like that. So I keep that updated. And then also like my $10 and $15 tiers, I send them prints and once a year for Christmas they get gifts. But I also, especially this year, because I had some different prize giveaways donated from some other companies, I decided to have Christmas in July.
Okay.
So all of my patrons that signed up for any level by the end of June are getting gifts in July. So that's a new thing I just started doing. So basically, I just really like to do giveaways because it's fun.
Nice.
And show off my cosplay work early to people that are really like intensely interested. So that's all my Patreon is for.
Very nice. So how many different tiers do you have on your Patreon?
I just have 1, 5, 10, and 15.
Okay.
And those are just different levels of, basically the $1 gets to see like my normal releases, the $5 gets to see like risque releases or whatever, and then the $10 gets a print, and then 15 gets 2.
Cool. So it's just viewable for the first 2 tiers, and then actually something tangible with the print after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And so is this something that you're doing as more of just a way to give back to the fans, or are you wanting to build this into something more
it's
for your
something that
cosplay?
helps to offset some of the cosplay costs, because I also have, you know, when I want to do conventions that I travel to, if I can get enough from like Story or from Patreon, then I can travel to more conventions without the convention having to foot the bill. So, because some conventions can't do that.
Sure.
And I do want to travel more, and I want to do more conventions. So it just helps offset the cost that goes into my cosplays and goes into the traveling and stuff. Because I mean, I put over $300 into the build that I did at Daycon.
Sure.
So it gets up there real fast.
Like, are you trying to get more featured guest spots at conventions, or are you doing this more just to be able to show off the level of costuming that you're doing?
I mean, both. Definitely both. I enjoy conventions. I am kind of torn on guesting. I don't know if I would rather just run a few panels and be at the convention.
Okay.
Or if I like because having the table is really cool, because I can have big props for my cosplays that can just be stationary at my table, and I can take pictures with people and it's all right there. And when they're like, oh, what other cosplays have you done? I can be like, boom, here's these books, all these cosplays, you can flip through it right here. So that's really convenient, but at the same time, I kind of miss running around the conventions.
Sure. And
sneaking up on people and getting like fun shots with fans and running through like the vendors hall and going to the panels. Like I kind of miss that side. Sure. So it's a little bit of both, because by no means, if I don't get like a guest spot at a convention, that doesn't mean I'm not gonna go.
Sure.
Like I'm gonna be like, oh sweet, I get to be the other end of this. Like it's no different to me either way, but I do enjoy running around the conventions, and sometimes being at the table, I'm just like, I run around like a crazy person now. So it just depends.
Nice.
It just depends.
So we've gone over your cosplay, all of the effort that you put into making these awesome costumes, your wig work, your armor building a bit, your Patreon, your voice acting lesson foray. Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
Or shamelessly plug.
Yes.
I guess is
plug
what
away
he's trying
from
to ask in a nice way.
Right now, those are really my main things. I mean, it's busy season at my work, so that takes a lot of my time. So Monday through Friday, I am there. So I have like weekends, and yeah, most of it just goes into building cosplays, shooting cosplays, because I have to have, you know, shoots for every month. So, and that has been so much to bite off. So I don't know how long I can keep up, but I am trying. So I have cosplay builds and shoots, and like if I don't have a cosplay build and a shoot that weekend, then I have a convention. So it's just always just go. So that's really all I have time for. The voice acting though, I'm really trying to, especially like when I get out of busy season with work, I'm trying to make more time to be able to work on that more, and also to record the auditions, be happy with them, submit them, stuff like that. And I guess I did want to talk a little bit more, because people have asked me about Chris Fager's class and how I felt about it and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
It was really awesome. He brought in a director, Joel, from that used to direct at Funimation, so he has a ton of experience, and it was really awesome to hear from somebody like that how he wants his people to come in and audition and what he expects from you during and after the audition, so you kind of know exactly what you should do to really catch the eye of the director that's working on that. So that's really helpful insights in the industry. And then the following day we actually got in-booth experience, which was really cool. It was so crazy to me. Like I was so shaky that night when I got home, because we got scripts basically for characters, and we go in there and we listen to the character in Japanese, and we watch them in Japanese and read through our lines to make sure that our breaks and our breathing and our lines match up with when they break in Japanese. So that way we know it matches up. They call it flaps when the mouth is moving. So that way we know it matches up with the flaps of the character. So you do that 2 or 3 times, and then you do it, silent, and it comes in and it goes beep, 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 and then you can say your lines because that's when you know they start talking. And you just say it in the same counts that they did in the Japanese to match it up, and then he lets you watch it where the character's speaking, but it's you. And that was just so awesome to watch it happen, to do these different voices and be like, oh my god, that is not me up there, but it is, and it's so surreal. Nice. And I absolutely loved that. That was just, I wanted to do it all day, every day. Like it was so cool, and just being in the studio and having him can you just, when we were doing video games, he'd just be like, can you just get hit a little harder? And it was so fun. I was like, man, I would love to do this every day of my life. So that was really cool. Video games, I found out, are so much harder.
Really?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So for that, he brought in Monica Real to show us video games and stuff. And what's hard about those is that you have all those lines, but you don't know the scenario.
Okay.
So basically, they have all these video game characters, and they have certain character to them. The evil scientist is an evil scientist, so he's probably going to have an overtone to his voice that's really creepy, and he's probably going to say questionable, creepy things. That's all you know, though. Okay. When you're fighting the other character, you don't know what the scenario is. Who's the other character, and what is your layout? You could be fighting another character inside the Candy Crush game that's throwing candy at you. You don't know what you're reacting to. You could be reacting and laughing. Okay. You could be reacting and being stabbed. So you have to do all of your lines 15 different ways and just guessing what could be happening.
Okay.
You're a preppy girl in a fighting game. You don't know. So he's like, do 15 different, 5. Do 5 different attack noises. You don't know if your attack noise is you throwing coffee at someone, or you're throwing your purse, or you actually have a gun. You don't know if you're actually threatening or not. So you have to do it a bunch of different questionable ways. And just the director will be like, oh yeah, that was funny, or that was cool, or I liked that, and it's exhausting. Because you just end up playing ping pong with the director going, say it like this, say it like this, say it like this. You're like, okay. So it's a lot more stressful than where anime, you can watch it and you're like, okay, that's what's happening, that's my character, I need to say it that way, and that's where I need to pause. Okay. So you might need maybe 2 or 3 takes, maybe, for anime. Yeah. Most of the time, especially if you're a good voice actor, you're gonna get it, on the first, second try. But with the video games, it's just so manic and all over the place. And he's like, all right, give me 8 different jump noises. And you don't know if you jumped and landed, or if you jumped and didn't land, or what you're jumping over, because it could be a log or a wall.
Sure.
So the noises for those are very different. So it was really interesting. It was really cool though to get in the booth and to really get to see me be characters. That was really cool.
This is just curious, but do you game at all?
I used to game a whole lot more than I do now.
Okay.
Now I don't really have time.
Because you brought up doing the gaming conventions around the area and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, okay. So I used to be obsessed with Skyrim and all the Elder Scrolls games. I was obsessed with all the Elder Scrolls games. And one of my friends, we were always playing Second Life together on computers, and she invited me out to QuakeCon in 2010, and I made a Frylock costume for her little brother, and we were actually on the cover photo for QuakeCon for a few years because Frylock and us, we got there Wednesday night and camped out for 2 days to be the first in line to get into the BYOC. People don't do that anymore, but the line was my favorite part. Those people were awesome. Yeah, we brought card games and bubbles, and I would run around the line and blow bubbles, and people would get up and pop, because you haven't slept for a couple of days and you're camping out in a line. Everything's amusing. And everyone is hilarious, and everybody's ready to make friends because there's nothing else to do, and that was just so fun.
You guys got to socialize with people.
Yeah, I made 30 new friends in the line every year.
But
then they stopped it, and I was like, what? LineCon. People joke about LineCon, but that was fun. QuakeCon people are fun.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, and getting the VOC was fun, and I love people's faces when they walk past my computer and I was playing Sims, and there's Quake tournaments happening. And I'm playing Sims, and my people are doing stuff.
Never. I never understood The Sims.
And people are just are you playing Sims? And I'm like, yeah. Or I'll be on addictinggames.com.
Oh god.
Throwing people around.
I spent so much time there.
Oh, it's one of the best. Kitten Cannon's one of the best damn things ever.
It's the best game ever. But I'll be playing Kitten Cannon, and they're playing Quake, and I'm like, okay, well, playing Kitten Cannon.
Burrito Bison took so many hours of my time.
I loved the Left 4 Dead truck that they used to have at QuakeCon. The Left 4 Dead truck. Oh, that was so fun.
Those are great.
Playing Left 4 Dead with like a big group of people,
Yep.
and everybody's like, oh, there's a witch. You know, so yeah, it was really.
See, I was always
fun.
that guy,
So-
like, no, I've got a sniper rifle. I'm gonna go take this bitch out real quick. I've got help.
So I used to play a lot more games. I used to play Counter-Strike. I used to be with Section 9 Gaming, and
Okay.
so we did our own like wallpapers, and we had our own server and everything. So I did used to game quite a bit with Counter-Strike, Halo, Rage, just different things. But now I'm so wrapped
You
up in the
transitioned over.
cosplay
Yeah.
conventions. I'm just so busy. Well, because video games sucked me in.
Yeah.
And when I was really young, I
Yeah.
actually battled.
Yep.
I actually battled anorexia because of Sims.
Okay.
Because I would get into Sims and I'd get sucked into that realm, and when I needed to eat
Yep.
or whatever, I'd feed my character, and then it would kill that sense for me. It was
Yeah.
really weird because I would be so into the
Immersed,
game,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
just immersed, yeah. And like especially when they added Sims, I think it was Sims Magic, and you could have dragons,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
could go through portals.
I
and
remember that
My
time.
people were doing so many crazy things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I just so video games are dangerous for me because it's a rabbit hole, and I start playing, and most of the time if I get a game that's like an RPG that you can play through, I won't get off until I've played it all. I won't get off till I beat it.
Yep.
When I had Skyrim,
Yep.
I played that. I want to say 3 months straight. Like every day when I got off work, I went home and I played it, and that was all I did.
Okay.
So I didn't have a life.
It's what Breath of the Wild
So
was for
video
me.
games are dangerous
Yeah.
for me.
Um,
Okay?
So like I'm not gonna, I'm not a big gamer, but you're like, can we go out and like raid today in Pokemon?
Oh, okay, alright, so I got called out. I am very into Pokemon Go, but that's
You know that's a video
interactive.
game, right? Yes.
It's a phone app.
No.
Okay,
no,
fine,
no.
it's a video game. Okay,
There we
fine,
go.
I play video games.
Hey, Angry Birds counts as a
so-
video game. Pokemon Go definitely does.
If Kid
Oh,
Cannon
well-
counts as a video game, then Pokemon Go counts as a video game.
Then I play video games. Alright, so back to that subject, I guess. I do still play. I play Pokemon Go every day.
I just found
When I
out
leave my
40
house,
minutes of
I stop at the
conversation
stop.
with Brad Coleman.
I stop at the stop right at the beginning of my park.
Yep.
I always destroy who's ever in that gym and replace them with one of my Pokemons every morning. And then I do it every day when I get home from work. I kill all of the, because they're terrible Pokemon. It's a park though, so I assume it's children, so I kind of feel bad, but at the same time,
No.
if I don't knock
No,
them out of the
no.
gym, they can't get back into the gym.
No.
So
Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. You're making a generation of winners is what you're doing.
so every night I get home, I kill everybody in the gym and I put my Pokemon in the gym. And then I do it every morning.
Did you really leave a Squirtle in there? Oh, do better, kid. Do better.
There was a 9. There was a CP9 Ditto. There was a CP9 Ditto. And I was like, what is this?
Somebody left
and
a
I had to
CP9
attack it
Ditto in the
in a gym.
Oh.
I had
As long
to
as you're
attack
not-
it 3 times.
as long
And
as
why do
you're
I
not
have to
across-
attack it 3 times?
As long as you're not coming across that father-son duo from California that actually beat the hell out of a guy because somebody beat their Pokemon in the gym that was like over by their house.
I just remember I was taking.
Yeah, it was like a 70-year-old dad and like his 30-year-old
I hope
son.
nobody crazy lives near me that's going to get really upset about me and kick them out of the gym every day.
I just remember I was taking classes at Brookhaven when Pokemon Go started,
Oh.
and so I was Team Valor. That's right. Everybody else sucks.
That's what we are. Because I like the bird.
It's just red, and everybody else blue.
But I like the big phoenix.
Well, so like I'm sitting there walking around campus, I was like, everything's red, everything's good. And then I come to class the next day, and it's like everything's yellow, and I just see like gym battles starting to pop up, like literally as I'm walking to class. I'm like, I gotta be there in 10 minutes, otherwise, no, we got time. You know, run across
Yeah.
campus, jump in, run back across campus, like late 5 minutes for class.
There's a warehouse next to my work that I'm wondering if eventually they're gonna get upset with me because it's a one-way little lane that leads up to the back of their building, but there's a stop right there.
Yep.
It's not my fault. So I go down that road every morning and I stop at that stop.
Give me some
and I spin
Pokeballs,
it,
give me some potions.
and I catch a few water Pokemon because there's a little creek. So I catch a few water Pokemon really quick and then I pull back out. But one of these days, there's gonna be somebody that's trying to get in or out of there, and it's only a one-way lane, and they're like, why are you even here? And I'll be like,
What the hell are you doing?
one of these days.
Damn it, you just cost me a Bulbasaur.
Very nice.
So been doing that.
Very nice.
Been obsessing over Pokemon, but I am not a gamer. I'm out of it.
No, I just said I haven't had a lot of time recently, but yeah, I've been playing Pokemon. It's
So apparently you have time to go murder children's Pokemon that they leave at a gym.
It takes like 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, I legitimately, with all this stuff that we have for editing for the podcast and, you know, my real job and all that other fun stuff. Yeah, gaming is like I'll have time maybe once every one day a month at best. At best,
Basically.
and that's like maybe 2 hours for that day.
And what do you
it
play?
sucks because I'm always I'm an RPG guy, so I'll maybe jump back in and say, oh, I haven't been able to touch the Old Republic in a while. I'll jump online and try that, or actually try to go back through, and I've been attempting to replay all the old Zelda games to finally build back up so I can play Breath of the Wild. Which he keeps telling me I need to.
Incredible.
With Zelda, like, if I'm out of it-
I need to.
I think it's just because my memory is terrible, but if I'm playing through Zelda, if I'm out of it for 3 weeks, I get back in there, I don't remember what I was doing.
Well, that's the one
Like,
good.
what the hell was I doing in this temple?
So that's the one good thing about the fact that
Like,
I've
what
spent
was my
so much
goal
of my
here?
time in
What's my next
RPGs.
thing?
I actually, with RPGs, I remember the storyline like months later, so it at least helps me when I have to come back.
My memory's
But
terrible.
yeah, like
I play it all real quick, like 3 days straight, no sleep, but I knew that storyline and it was good. And then I sleep and it's all gone.
Basically,
But
he plays as often as a Kingdom Hearts game comes out.
yeah,
Shots fired
that's actually
at
fair.
Kingdom Hearts.
That's actually fair, but it
That's
really
long enough for me to have a tattoo for years.
I was actually gonna ask, is that
Oh.
what I think
Yeah,
it
it's
is?
Kingdom Hearts
Yeah.
2.
nice.
Yeah.
You know, it hurts me though because I'm a completionist. So the fact that I am obsessed with RPGs does not help me at all because
Kingdom Hearts
before I
would
can
hurt
move
me
on to the
too.
next one, it just keeps on. I can never officially finish.
Yeah.
Because if
But
it
it's-
takes,
It's finally coming out, guys.
well, like if it takes me,
We
like
don't
a
know if
normal,
you'll be able to actually finish it though. The last 2 were cliffhangers. Last 3, whatever. If you count the handheld games, the last like 6.
Dream Drop Distance,
Yeah.
Birth by Sleep.
Well, like
yeah.
if a normal RPG
Yeah, they're all
takes like
cliffhangers.
a person like 40 hours to finish, and a completionist takes them like 60 hours to finish, I'm not finishing that for like a year. So, you know.
It takes you a year to play 60 hours worth of a game?
Well, if I can only touch it like once a month for a couple hours at a time, it takes a minute.
Slacker.
It takes a minute.
That is only technically
Especially-
24 hours.
Especially when, you know, every side quest has to be a thing for me, you know? And with Zelda,
Oh.
Gives that guy finds his daughter. That's with her. Go save the galaxy.
That is so much harder. You can
And of course-
only do side quests if you're like still in high school and living at home or something.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have bills to pay, you can do side
oh yeah,
quests.
no, like, that's why,
You
it
don't
takes me,
have time.
that's why it takes me
That's
forever to
an
go
adult.
through, and why freaking the Old Republic hurts me so much because I have to ignore most of the side quests because it's an MMO. You can't do all the side quests there.
Well, that's
But
like,
Oh jeez.
damn it, I have to.
I am terrible with side quests. I just don't give a crap about those characters.
Oh.
So like one of the first ones.
I do in the beginning, and then I'm like, I want to finish
Well,
this.
so like one of the first ones in Breath of the Wild is like you get to this town and it's like my little sister is playing hide and seek, but I can't find her. Help me! I'm like, oh, go f- about your little sister. I gotta go kill Ganon. But you guys are playing hide and seek, and
Wait, so
Ganon's
you're-
basically
The
murdering
problem
everyone.
you're
was
telling me
read
that
what you
you're
wanted.
not-
If you don't read it, it doesn't hurt as
So
much.
you're telling me that
Yeah, I'm sitting there reading. I'm like, okay. Why should I give? And let
I
me go
just
get
don't
this
read
sword
it,
and away I
and then I
go.
look at the quests that I got, and I'm like, nope. Okay, I'll do that
Let
one.
me go
tell
talk
me
to
for
Emperor. She can put me around-
Ocarina,
she
you
can
weren't
put me
the
on
person
there.
that was trying to get the record for the fishing minigame?
No.
Really?
No. In the grand scheme of things, what does that matter?
The only game I fished in.
My name is on the board.
And
okay?
ain't nobody gonna remember if Ganon murders your ass.
Especially when at the end you go back in time and it doesn't count anymore. Yeah, I'm aware.
I think I fished in
And?
Animal Crossing. That's about it.
Nice.
Like way back
See,
in
you
the
guys are
day.
just putting all of your effort into the wrong things.
Well, no, this was I was a child, and I thought the fishing was fun.
Again,
watching
you're
the
putting
fish
your
try to
effort
get
into the wrong things. I'm sorry, what the fish into the...
Yeah, there's a pole and a little string went down in the water, and you could watch the fish like nibble on it, and then just like you'd get really excited when you saw what the fish was that came out of the water. I was just really amused when I was a kid, so I fished on Animal Crossing a lot. And it was cool because I had an attachment to my Game Boy Advance, the special tattoo edition. I had a little attachment, so I could go from Harvest Moon Animal Crossing on my GameCube onto my Game Boy Advance. So it was just like cool to go back and forth and like
Oh, I know.
and visit the towns on the little train station.
I'm a Nintendo whore. I know.
Yeah, so it was really
I know
cool.
what you're talking
And then
about.
Harvest Moon, you did it too, but it was when you went to the fountain and got into the mines and stuff. But yeah, so those games were really cool. I fished in those games and I did weird stuff in those games, but those were definitely like time fillers that I'm pretty sure my parents got me because they were like, oh, she'll be playing that for a while.
She doesn't need friends. Here you go.
I mean, I get it. I was hyper, so it was helpful.
You need to mellow her the hell out. What
Wait,
can we
you
do?
were hyper? Were?
Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, no, I'm good now. Don't think otherwise.
Okay, well, anything else you want to plug, or is that about it? Yeah, nice.
I have said all the things.
Well then, I will do the last shameless plug for you. If you are not already following her on social media,
Don't.
absolutely fix that.
No, wait, never mind, do it.
Damn it. So, you have...
I have a job? We get paid?
I mean...
What?
Who is this guy?
When the hell did this start?
So, you have Instagram,
I thought you would
Facebook,
too. Yeah.
Twitter. Eh? Yes?
Yes.
No? Yes. Obviously,
Did you just say
Patreon.
Twitter made kind of? Like,
Well, you never know who has Twitter these days because, you know, Twitter seems kind of
I
one of
do
those
only
maybe yes,
have-
maybe no for cosplayers.
I do only have Twitter simply so that no one else has my name on Twitter.
That seems
so
fair. That seems
That's
fair.
why I did it.
That's fair. So, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, are you on YouTube?
No.
Okay, so no YouTube. Patreon, obviously. Fix that too.
Story V.
Store NV.
I don't know what
That's it.
Anything else?
I don't know.
Awesome. No Tumblr, no MySpace.
We don't do good at that.
Yeah, let
My
everybody...
cosplay's not on MySpace.
Yeah.
I do have 2 pages on MySpace that I
Let's-
can't delete because I don't remember
the passwords
anything.
and your login. Yeah, let
And I don't
everybody
know
know.
why there's 2. I think one's me and one's not me.
Yeah, let everybody know how old we really are.
The one with the Second Life characters singing to each other, that's my MySpace.
Nice. Okay, well, yeah, definitely go check her out. Links will be down in the description. And yeah, this is Brad and Mike from Dallas Geek with.
Erica, the Scarlet Muse Cosplay.
Until next time, see ya.